Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Yoichi's route, and we're basically decided at the end of the last part we're gonna be his fake girlfriend, so good for us! Fun times! Fake girlfriend that's gonna turn into real wife. Hell yeah! We're playing Lover Pretend 2.0, guys. Anyway. This isn't our room, though, but it's a room. But this looks like Chie's house. I don't know. This is her background, so I don't know why we're back in her house. Is it the back of the brewery? But why are the servant... Wait, why would we be staying here? Wouldn't we be allowed to go to our own house? Like, back to the base, you know? Anyway, somebody's snoring. Snore! Lots of people are snoring. Glad to see they're all sleeping soundly. I crawled out of my futon quietly so I wouldn't wake anyone up. Guess Kamame's still asleep too, so we're living at the brewery now? That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you just say, like, I have a house? Like, someplace to live? Like, okay. It warmed my heart to see Kamame fast asleep in my luggage. She's so cute. I'd love to pet her on the head, but I won't, since it'll just wake her up. I stood right up so I wouldn't wake Kamame. It's still early, but I need to finish my daily training before everyone wakes up in another bell hour. I didn't have a daily appointment set with Yoichi, by the way. I was training on my own. Yoichi's been watching me for a while, like he promised, but I also need to practice on my own if I want to get any better. I got ready while thinking to myself restlessly. If anyone spots me getting ready early in the morning, I'm sure they'll make a huge fuss about this too. The other day I told everyone I was in a relationship with Yoichi. Well, not exactly, but sorta. I spaced out, remembering the uproar when I told them. That was a real mess. It happened several days after Yoichi and I had decided to go through with the fake relationship. Oh, okay. So this is not the next, this is days later. Okay, so, alright, fine. So, okay. I know Yoichi asked me to tell everyone about our relationship today, but I couldn't think about literally anything else, making me pretty much useless at work. I heard several footsteps approaching me as I stood there, fidgeting. Yoichi was among the people walking toward me, which made me even more nervous. Yoichi, what did you want to talk to us about? You seem awfully stern. Did we do something bad? Huh? No. Well, you're just serious about work, I suppose. What did you want to talk about, then? Well? Is this about you and her, Yoichi? Then, one of the female servants standing beside me muttered something. Her? Oh, you mean the rumors are true? The servants looked at Yoichi, shocked. He turned to them and nodded. Yeah, it's true. I knew you two were in a relationship! That settles it. I'm out of the running then. How'd you get Yoichi to fall for you? I basically was like, yo, we should be dating, and he's like, cool. Oh, that's not good enough? Everyone's just staring at you blankly. You're like, oh, I got a magic vagina. I'm kidding! I'm not gonna sleep with a man out of wedlock. I give really good blowjobs. Oh, dear God. She would never say anything like that. She would literally pass out and die if she had to, like ever insinuate anything inappropriate, but still. I'm dying to know, too! Psst, who liked who first? Oh, gee, the second I saw Yoichi, I just knew he was the one for me. He's so hot. Wait, no, that doesn't sound legit, but I mean, like, it is legit. Like, have you seen the man? Who do you think fell for who first? Have you seen him? And then have you seen me? Well, to be fair in the game, she's super cute. So, like, you know, fair enough. Yoichi... So Yoichi's into girls like you, huh? For a hot second, my brain was like, so Yoichi's into girls. I was like, What? Finish reading the sentence. Women who make you want to protect them, huh? I get it, I do. I assume they suspect something was up if I said Yoichi liked me first, but they're actually rolling with it. The unexpected sight of them falling for it almost made me deny everything, but then I remembered what Yoichi said and kept mum. Yoichi and I met in Edo. Yoichi fell in love with me at first sight, and then we started dating. It's very convincing because Yoichi's absolutely the type to fall in love with you instantaneously. Look at him. Look at the way he's looking at us with that face of adoration. Oh, wait. No, it's a blank stare. Never mind. He fell in love with me at first sight. You know what? I'd still probably be having fun with this, but he fell in love with me. You should see. I know he acts all stoic, but he is such a gooey romantic when we're alone. It's ridiculous. You'd never guess. He'd be so mad at me, but I'd be like, what are you going to do? You can't go back on it now. I could tell everyone we broke up. Like, according to Yoichi, it sounded more natural that we started dating after Yoichi fell in love with me at first sight, rather than me falling for Yoichi. Well, okay, he's the one that came up with it. All right. I mean, fair enough, I guess, because he has so many women that are confessing their feelings for him and fawning over him that, like, it would just be, and they'd be like, well, but why her? So, you know what I mean? So it would be like, oh, I fell in love with you instantly. That's why nobody else, like, I've never been interested in just you. You were just, and that's exactly what's going to happen when we crack his little heart. Oh, it's going to be so fun. If I'd fallen for Yoichi, a man who showed zero interest in anybody, then I would have just been shot down like all the other women before me. Still, I couldn't imagine Yoichi falling for a woman for the same reason. Why isn't anyone questioning this? I figured as much. Yoichi never would have talked to a newcomer otherwise. Is Yoichi surprisingly passionate with his girlfriend even though he's usually blunt? Oh, maybe. I bet he came on real strong and you said yes. I love how we now have to, like, keep going with the story. Like, these girls are gonna be like, oh my god, what's he like in bed? You've had sex with him, right? You're sleeping? Absolutely. There's no way you're not. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I guess. You lucky dog! I want to hear all about Yoichi later. Like, can you imagine Yoichi standing right there? Like, okay. I don't want to be like, oh my god, could you just imagine asking some random... First of all, women talk like this just like men talk like this. You know what I mean? Like, you share stories and shit, sure. But, like, one, you barely know this girl. And you're like, oh my god, tell us all about your boyfriend and what he's like, and is he romantic and whatever. But also, okay, fine. Even if you're just that social and friendly and outgoing, okay? He's standing right fucking there. He's right there. What the fuck? Simmer down. Show some restraint. Wait for the man to leave the room and then be like, all right, tell us everything. You know? Also, I would never think to ask those questions because I'm just an introverted introvert. So, like, I'd be like, okay, you could talk about your relation. I don't know the questions to ask. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. But don't wait for me to ask you questions because I don't know how to do that. You know? Like, as promised, she asked me a million questions the second I returned to the women's quarters. Yoichi had given me answers to everything he assumed they'd ask, so I managed to answer all their questions without raising any suspicion. I want to know what their questions were and the answers you gave them because I want to know what Yoichi imagined they'd ask and his responses. It's not just my fellow servants either. Even Yanagi knows about our relationship. We've already explained our fake relationship to the rest of the Oniwaban, of course. By now, all of our acquaintances knew about Yoichi and I being together. Being together with the quotes around it, even though there's not, but there should be. Kuga just told me he was looking forward to working with me more too. Since Yoichi and I worked at the same place as cover, he said it'd be better if we took down Blightfall together, if any appeared. I thought Yoichi might hate that, but he seemed completely fine with it. I continued getting dressed while recalling how it had gone. Speaking of which, Talking Blightfall have been appearing every single day since then. I'm sure we'd know why if we could just tell what they're saying. Like the first Blightfall, they were all so quiet that you couldn't make out any details. They've been appearing in different places each time, so it doesn't seem to be the location making them spawn. I kept my hands busy the entire time I thought to myself, meaning I was done changing in no time. I folded my pajamas, placed them on my pillow. There! But before that, I sat in front of my dresser and started brushing my hair with a comb. Time to brush out the hair lick in my bangs. The hair lick? You like the cow lick? Like, it makes logical sense that it'd be called a hair lick, but your hair didn't lick you. It's a cow lick because it looks like a cow licked your head, and then that's why your hair's all swirly and weird. But at the same time, it's such a weird fucking turn of phrase, isn't it? Like, people are like, a cow lick? And you're like, yeah, because it looks like a... But I also have one in my bangs, which is why I can't have bangs, because they would look stupid. And it would be... It's not like... I mean, I can have bangs. I have had bangs, but it's one of those... You have to style them. You can't just get up, take a shower, and go, because then you look all stupid. Like, especially, like, the straight bangs, like her bangs. I like my side swoopy bangs. Listen, I don't care how fucking, like... 2000s that was. Like, I always liked them. And I look good with them, but the side swoopy bangs go to the side where my cowlick is. And then it's like, if you don't, properly brush them out or use a straight iron or whatever, then you end up with, like, part of your bangs going and then the other ones are doing a Little Mermaid looking thing. So I just go with my oldie side part and Little Mermaid looking bangs. Like, because I can't... the 90s were difficult, all right? When it was like, oh my god, middle parts. I know they're back, but like, fuck you, you'll take my side part from my cold, dead old lady hands, okay? Because, like, the middle part never worked right for me. My hair just naturally parts on the side. I have a natural side... It's just... So parting it down the middle was always difficult. And then you have one side that would do that whole 90s lay flat again, and then the other side was like... doing this stupid fucking... You know what I'm talking about when I say Little Mermaid bangs. You know the swoopy thing she got going on. Like, one side just naturally fucking does that. So, like, the also side part, not good. I mean, middle part. Middle part, not good for cowlick bangs. Pretty sure when I have a back on my head, too, but you can't notice that one. But, like, fuck, having a cowlick right in your fucking forehead? You look like an idiot. Anyway. But a hair lick. Never heard it called a hair lick before. Huh. Okay, if you've never called it a cowlick, what did you always call it? I'm curious. Or if you know in other cultures or whatever, cowlicks are referred to as whatever, tell me. I want to know. I'm curious now. I want to know what they're called. Like, Huh. Anyway. My hair always stuck out on the side I slept on, but I couldn't brush it out with my fingers, no matter how hard I tried. Yuichi's noticed before, so I need to take better care of my hair. Look at her. She's being like, I need to look good for him. Like, because he notices. But she's not thinking of it like that, but it's kind of sort of in the back of her mind. It's kind of cute. If Yuichi spotted me with a single hair out of place, I just knew he'd tell me that I needed to care more about my appearance as a woman. There. Much better. I placed the comb on the dresser and stood up. Although, to be fair to her, it's like, why should I care about my appearance? I lived alone in a shack in the woods. On a mountain in the snow by myself. So what do I give a fuck what I look like? You know what I mean? What should I eat today? I normally ate breakfast with everyone else, but I wanted something in my stomach before training. I usually have leftovers from the night before, but I don't think there was much left. I could probably make a simple bowl of ochazuke? 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 Ochazuke. With whatever cold rice was left there. Isn't ocha tea? What's ochazuke? I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but whatever. Anyway. I snuck out of the room, careful not to wake anyone, when... Just kidding. I heard a sound inside. I listened carefully. Maybe someone else also came to get something to eat. It's going to be Yoichi. A glutton who couldn't wait for breakfast, perhaps? It's Yoichi, absolutely, now. Nervous about who it might be, I peeked inside the room and let out a surprised yelp when I saw who it was. When she said a glutton who can't wait for breakfast, the first thought wasn't Yoichi. Yuichi? Hmm? Oh, Spacey. Yuichi scooped some rice into his bowl, barely even noticing my arrival. Why are you up so early, Yuichi? You don't work this early in the morning, do you? If he did, there was no way everyone in the women's quarters would be fast asleep at this hour. Yeah, I have only Waban work to do in a few. Huh? You should have invited me along then. I'll just be patrolling, not exterminating Blightfall. I've been going on rounds with Genjiro long before you joined the Castletown crew. Oh, right. Will I be patrolling with you and Kuga from now on then? How would I know? Ask Mitsuhige yourself. Okay, I will. Still as blunt as ever, even though we're in a fake relationship, I see. Why are you up so early? I just thought I'd have a bite to eat before I do my morning training. Huh. After that less than interested remark, he pointed at the rice pot. And then I'll make enough for you while I'm at it. Huh? What's with that reaction? Well, if you're offering to make me food, fuck yeah. A question had suddenly popped into my mind. Does that mean you know how to cook rice? I'd seen Yoichi's insatiable hunger in action many times before, but I'd never actually seen him make food. The thing is like, if you're gonna have that much of an insatiable hunger, you should be able to cook for your damn self. Just saying. If he's gonna make me some, does that mean he doesn't just specialize in eating? Why would I offer if I couldn't? True. I see. So it turns out Yoichi can cook, not just eat. And he said while he's at it, but he's going out of his way to make me some. I was touched by his act of kindness, something I would have never expected from Yoichi back when I just met him. Well, you're also in a fake relationship, so it'd be kind of rude if he didn't make his fake girlfriend food, right? Thank you, Yoichi, if you really don't mind. Oh, if there's anything I can do to help... No, so stay there. Oh, sure. I sat obediently on a stool after he curtly shot me down. And now the music's janky. I checked it when we first started. I fucking did. This is starting to really piss me off, this recording software and my capture card. Because when I first started recording, I sat here for like a minute listening to it. Not really. It was like 10, 20 seconds. And I was like, okay, it sounds fine. And I just noticed how janky it is. I'll be back in a hot second. To be fair, you guys probably can't hear the music at all. But like, if I turn it up louder, then it's like too loud. Like, I don't know. Like, but like, it's just really annoying that when I hit the record button, I listen to it and I'm like, okay. And I give it a little bit and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it sounds good. Okay, cool. And then I give myself a little bit of a buffer because if I hit record and start recording instantly, like the sound's janky, like my microphone sounds. So I got to like give it a little bit of a buffer. So usually it's like 10, 20 seconds, whatever, before it, like, you know, and now I'm like, let me listen. Sometimes I forget to check. Okay, the music. This time I fucking did, and I was like, no, it sounds good, and now it just gets janky out of fucking nowhere. That royally pisses me off, because I don't need to stop, because then it just throws me off of like, fuck, how long were we going? That was like 18 minutes, I think. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, shit, and then I don't know time-wise. It's like, I like knowing how fucking long we've been recording. You know? Like, what the shit balls? I swear to God, I know this should be my sign to, like, it's my goddamn capture card because the thing's, like, 10 fucking years old. But, like, I don't want to spend fucking money and get a new one. I don't wanna, you know? I am old at work. It still works. It's not broken yet. I don't need a new one. It's like, ugh. But, like, I probably do. But, like, what if it's just fucking not? It just doesn't like working with this computer for some reason. I think this has been a problem for a while, long before I got this computer, but it's like, could just be the recording software or whatever, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go jump through fucking hoops and find some other fucking recording software and then that and mess with settings and do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a pain in the ass. I don't want to spend like hours fucking with a new software, you know? Like, ugh. So annoying. I just want it to goddamn work. If I, like, turn it on and it's not working and I start again and it's fine, I just want it to stay fine. If you're going to tell me it's fine, keep fucking being fine. Like, why'd you get stupid all of a sudden? So annoying. Anyway, I sat obediently on a stool after he curtly shot me down. I think I read that, but... do you mind if I ask what you're going to make? I asked timidly. He said rice. Yoichi's hands stayed busy as he answered me. Ochazuke and pickled vegetables. Oh yeah, I love it with pickled veggies. Not long after, a delicious aroma wafted in my direction as I sat there, eagerly waiting. There you go. He handed me a steaming hot bowl of ochazuke, and I took it with both hands so I wouldn't burn myself. Stop, bird. The hell is that? Cat got your tongue? The pink sparkles everywhere. It's like she's going to be like, it's so delicious and wonderful. Like he's an amazing cook. I just love the ridiculous pink sparkles everywhere. I don't think the game has ever fucking done this. Like what the hell? This is so funny. This is Ochazuke? The bowl of ochazuke Yoichi handed me wasn't just tea poured over cold rice. Okay, see, Ocha, I know it's tea, but it was incredibly extravagant with nori, salted salmon, and sesame seeds on top. I've never seen anything like this before. You wouldn't have. I came up with it myself. Try some. You'll be even more surprised once you have a bite. Okay, so it wasn't even that she tasted it and it was good. She was like, my God, you made this shit fancy. Sure. At Yoichi's insistence, I blew on the soup to cool it down, then took a sip. This is delicious! The pink sparkles. The saltiness of the salmon was softened by the tea, giving the dish a very gentle flavor. Is the tea different too? It has the perfect level of astringency and sweetness. Huh? You noticed. Oh, no, it wasn't like how I question, but I was like, huh, you noticed. Ochazuke is normally made with bancha, but I use sencha. It gives a good umami flavor and makes it much tastier than a normal bowl of ochazuke. Listen to little Mr. Chef Boy over here. I love it. Sencha. No wonder it tastes so good. Sencha. I only get to drink sencha on special occasions, and he's using it to make ochazuke. But it's so delicious. I want to have sencha ochazuke from now on. To me, ochazuke was something cheap and simple you made just to fill your stomach. I couldn't believe a bit of extra effort turned it into a proper dish. This is awesome, Yoichi. You're a genius cook. Praise won't get you anywhere. He says that while smiling. Yoichi did look a bit proud in spite of his remark. I eat ochazuke a lot during my breaks. One of my favorite things to make since it's quick and tasty. You get used to the flavor when you eat it every day, though. I realized you can make it even more delicious by adding extra toppings. I switch up the ingredients depending on my mood that day and enjoy how it tastes. Wow. I wanted something salty today, so I made ochazuke with salted salmon. When I want something sour, I add salted plum. And when I'm in the mood for something fancy, I add sea bream. Sea bream? Sea bream is a very high-end fish. Not too expensive, but expensive enough that a mere commoner would never have a taste. Do you mind if I ask how you managed to get sea bream? I was staring at a fishmonger who asked me what fish I wanted. I told him and he gave me some. Even the fishmongers are like hot for Yoichi. They're like, what kind of fish do you want? And he just gives it to... Sir, are you a love potion? Is that what you were? What the fuck object were you that is gonna, like, help us figure out why you're so fucking hungry and why everyone is thirsty for you? Like, seriously. Like, you know what? He was a bottle of sake. Okay, because, like, liquor, like, you just get munchy when you, like, some people don't, but, like, you're like, hey, there's drinks are flowing, you got appetizers and snacks, and you're just munching while you drink, you know what I mean? And yet, then everybody sees it as like, yeah, I'm really thirsty for that, I want a tall drink of that. Like, that's the only explanation I can think of for why he is always hungry and literally makes everybody else thirsty for him. Like, there's no, like, come on. And you work at a brewery, so that would also be funny. That's it? That's it. Speaking of which, the lady at the tempura stand gave him some for free. Maybe people just feel like giving him things when he looks at them. Which is just also like, what kind of power do you have? Either way, I only do that on special occasions. Most of the time I just put sardines and herring on my ochazuke. Oh, those sound good too. I'll make you some next chance I get then. Are you sure? It's the same amount of work to make it for 1 or 2 people. Thank you. I could tell Yoichi was a skilled cook by the ochazuke I ate earlier, and also it's gonna if he brings you food and he's like, "Here, I made you some," then people are like, "Oh my god, your boyfriend cooks for you," and it's definitely gonna hammer in the "we're dating." You know? I can't wait. I crunched on pickled vegetables while thinking about it. Yoichi sat across from me and sipped his ochazuke with a straight face. His expression hasn't changed, but I can tell he's really enjoying his food. I know his heart's been sealed off, but he doesn't seem any different from a normal person when you ask him about his food preferences. What? I've said this a million times already. If you have something to say, spit it out. Oh, right. Sorry. You seem to like cooking and eating. What's your favorite thing to cook, and what's your best dish? What happens when I tell you? Having finished his ochazuke, he set the bowl down on his tray and stared back at me. Well, I really didn't mean anything by asking. I just thought I could learn more about Yoichi by talking about food. Oh, then it occurred to me. Everyone knows we're in a fake relationship now, but who knows what might blow our cover? I figured if we got to know each other better, it'd help me not waste time handling issues that pop up. It would help me waste no time handling issues that pop up. Sorry, I read that wrong. We also don't act any differently towards each other from before, even though we're in a fake relationship, you know? You say that and people could walk in and hear you. Doing some relationshipy things would give us more credibility. Nice cover. What great way to date him. Yoichi, what specific things do you think would make us seem more like we're in a relationship? Yoichi replied to my question like he couldn't care less. You're not cut out for duping people. Just act normal, same as before. Same as before? I guess I'm not cut out for it like Yoichi said. Is that okay? But now that I've agreed to being in a fake relationship, shouldn't I be taking action too, instead of leaving everything up to Yoichi? That said, I've never been in a relationship before. I'd lived in the mountains before coming to Ito. I hadn't had much human contact. So, like, when people ask you, you could just be like, it's my first real relationship because, like, I lived, in a small village before and, like, whatever. And then, like, you're like, so, it's all new to me. And then everyone will be like, oh, understandable why you're an idiot, Stuff a couple would do. You're talking out loud. Oh, sorry. Was I being loud? No, but hearing you grumble nearby is getting on my nerves. I just said you can act the same as you did before. No need to worry about it. I see. I gave up and decided to leave it in Yoichi's hands after all. That reminds me, back when I lived in the village, I saw couples go on outings together. Damn it. Hey, Yoichi, how about a date on our next day off? Huh? After a long pause, Yoichi raised an eyebrow at me in suspicion. No need to look at me like that! I know he didn't actually suspect me of anything because he was a vessel, but it still hurt my feelings to see him react that way. I decided not to let it discourage me and continued explaining anyway. Back in the village, I saw couples on outings together. Whether it's fake or not, we are in a relationship. Going on dates would deepen our friendship too. What do you think? Dates, huh? I take it that's a no. Not a no. Just sounds like a hassle. Okay. Going on dates with someone as begrudging about everything as Yoichi would be a challenge. If dates are off the table, maybe we can change what we call each other. In spite of my idea, I had no clue what to call him. Hey, sweetie baby plum bum. We already called each other by our first names. Anything more polite would make us seem even more distant. What about a nickname? Like, Ichi? Huh? Hearing him say huh a second time made me break out in a cold sweat. I can already see where this is going, but why are you calling me by a different name? If you can see where it's going, then please don't ask. I responded to Yoichi's question anyway, despite the thought going through my head. I thought it might make you sound more special to me if I called you by another name. Calling me something else out of the blue would be even more suspicious. It's special enough that we call each other by our first names. Do you even... Well, obviously you do, because Kuga has a last name, and but it's funny because we've always called Kuga Kuga. And then when we got closer to him, we started calling him Genjiro. But we've always called Yoichi Yoichi. Does Yoichi even have a last name? Obviously he does, but what is your last name? We've always just called him Yoichi. Wait a minute. I have no idea. I don't even know if he does. Does he? Hold on. No, it's so funny because when you look at the walkthroughs, it's Kunataka Tojo, Genjiro Kuga, Yoichi, Kinji, Tomonari Takamura, and Otaro. So it's like Yoichi doesn't have a last name. If he does, they're like, whatevs. We don't know it. Interesting. I suppose you may be correct. I unintentionally agreed in an overly polite way. And just act normal. Same as before. Sure. Are we done here? If we are, I'd like to clean up and get back to work. Oh, yeah, good luck on your Oniwaban assignment. Thanks. You too. Yoichi stood up and put his empty bowl in a bucket filled with water. Oh, I'll wash the dishes. You will. Cool, thanks. Yoichi waved, then left the kitchen. After watching him leave, I stood up with my own bowl in hand. Normal and same as before, huh? I'd really like to be closer friends with Yoichi since we're Oniwaban teammates and also work at the same place as a cover. I'm sure if I brought it up to him directly, he'd tell me things are fine the way they are since it wasn't interfering with work. Vessels can date, just like form folk and humans. In that case, we should be able to develop our friendship and get to know each other in a similar fashion. Man, this is hard. I focused on washing the dishes to take my mind off my gloomy mood. Several days later, I'd spent a while working on at the brewery as a servant and had become fairly used to the job. I was sweeping up the back today, one of my many back-of-house duties. There's our precious, beautiful boyfriend. But for some reason, Yoichi, the head clerk, was doing it with me. I guess they placed us together on purpose since we're dating. That's actually kind of cute. Quit looking at me. Keep those hands moving. Phrasing. But also, why wouldn't you want me to look at you while I'm moving my hand? You know? It's a very inappropriate statement. Don't look at me, but keep those hands moving. Will do. I did, panicking when he gave me a warning. He doesn't sound mad, I think. I couldn't guess what Yoichi was thinking because I couldn't see his threads. It used to make me nervous, but now not seeing them was almost a relief. Everyone's nice, but sometimes I find myself fretting over the color of their threads. Nearly everyone's threads were the color of curiosity, especially recently. They asked about Yoichi, Yoichi, Yoichi at every opportunity. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha! I haven't hesitated when answering their questions lately because they've asked me so many times, but I feel bad lying to them. What? You being weird. It didn't end when I returned to the women's quarters either, meaning I didn't even get to relax in my room. Being with Yoichi right now might be the only part of my day where I'll get to relax. It was a huge change. I never would have pictured myself thinking this when I first met Yoichi. Spacey. Then Yoichi, who had been right next to me cleaning, whispered into my ear, scaring me out of my wits. What's up? Be on your toes, Yuichi said, not moving anything except his eyes. Naturally, I followed his gaze. Oh. The second our eyes met, one of the servants looked away in a panic. How long do you think she's been watching us? She's not the only one watching. What? You had no idea, did you? No! Nice catch, Yoichi. You notice when you feel people's eyes on you. I see. Don't look at me with those bedroom eyes, sir. Gonna need you to back up, beautiful. I looked around once more and noticed another servant sneaking glimpses of us, just like Yoichi had said. Why are they paying attention to us? And they're probably interested in the kinds of conversations and interactions couples have. They're interested because they're like, I never would have thought Yoichi would have dated anyone, so like, what the fuck, I need to see what he does with his girlfriend. You know what I mean? Especially when it's the ladies. But haven't we told them any time they've asked? Hearing about it's different from seeing it in person. They're starved for entertainment. Well, I'll give him something to be entertained by. Grab a Yuichi and kiss him. See, other people's love affairs are their entertainment. They probably asked about our relationship every single day because they found it thrilling to hear about someone else's love life. That said, I wonder when Yoichi will move away. His breath tickled my ears every time he talked, and to be really honest, I couldn't relax. But that's the thing, they're looking, so now he's like standing close to you, and they're like, oh, they're having a little, oh, look, they're getting, oh, what's going on? They're having a little lovers chat over there? If he won't walk away, then I will. Uh-oh, OCG. Oh, okay. Hello, look at him grabbing my arm and looking all pretty at me. The CGs in this game are good. When I tried to leave, Yoichi pulled me even closer. Although I wasn't paying much attention to my surroundings, I could hear the other servants gossiping once they saw us. Why are you moving away? But because it's hard to clean like this and everyone's watching. Well, we're doing it for everyone to see. Huh? Didn't you say that we should try to act a little more like a couple? I thought about it after you left and realized you had a point. Perfect situation for some couple stuff, if you'd like to give it a try. Yoichi said this like it was nothing, but we were at work. What exactly were you planning to do in a situation like this, Yoichi? Yoichi grinned at me while I stood there, bewildered. You know, it's kind of funny that we're in this fake relationship and Yuichi's like, look, it'll be easier for me because some women will stop hitting on me. But then, like, right now I feel like he's teasing us a little, like he's gonna grin and he's gonna tease, and it feels like such a Kinji fucking move. You know what I mean? Because he likes to tease us. And I'm like, why do I, like, did you go talk to Kinji? Because I feel like this is something he would do if we were in a fake relationship with him. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, well, like, just to tease us and watch us squirm. Like, you know he'd get off on that. And I don't think Yoichi is the type to get off on it, but, like, but right now I'm like, what are you about to do? You don't need to do anything. Just be normal, like I said earlier. Yoichi moved from whispering in my ear to bending forward a little bit. Oh my god, are you going to kiss me right now? Oh, he's kissing our cheek. I was wondering. Oh. And then kissed me on the cheek. Like, I knew when he grinned, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to kiss. I figured it was going to be on the cheek, though, not like a real kiss. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh my god. Oh my god. I love it, though. Yuichi covered my mouth with his hand when I attempted to scream. Hush! Be quiet. I quieted down as I was told when Yuichi shot me a fierce look. You're like, actually, I want to scream more if you're going to glare at me like that, because that's sexy. That'll work. On second thought, Yuichi's face is awfully close. Also, what's his hand doing? Your face is bright red. Is that really all it takes to embarrass you? You really aren't used to being around people. I'm not used to people kissing me and stroking me. Yoichi removed his hand from over my mouth and placed his arm around my shoulder. Easy, easy. Despite Yoichi advising me not to move, I'd never had a man whisper to me at such a close range, let alone hold me close. Also, he's like whispering in your ear, and you're like, oh, God. Oh, you know he's got a sexy voice. I don't, but I just went along with it since I could barely process going through all this for the first time in my life. I'm impressed that you've been working so hard to train on your own lately. It's not all that impressive. Yeah, it is. And there's nothing more attractive than a hardworking woman. That's probably why I fell in love with you. You're like, for a hot second, I was like, there's nothing more attractive than a hardworking woman. I'm like, sir? And he's like, that's why I fell in love with you. Oh, this is part of the ruse. Okay. It's also adorable you turn red as soon as I say anything. What am I supposed to do when you're making me fall even harder for you? Like, again, did you take acting lessons? Question marks and exclamation marks. It's like, oh. Hearing Yuichi say sentence after sentence that sounded nothing like him left me more than surprised. I was dumbfounded. Wow, check out Yuichi. He really must be head over heels for her. A real cheap for me, but as long as Yuichi's happy, I wish them eternal happiness. We like Servant too. She's nice. Not like, what's her name? I forgot her name. They're making a huge deal out of this. The servants had been watching secretly from the back, but now they were starting to make a huge racket while watching us. The girl that likes him is going to come out. Is it Sato? Is that her name? Can't remember. And I thought it started with an S, but still, I'm sure there's a few things you wouldn't know training on your own. Why don't we train together on your next day off? I found it puzzling that Yuichi kept emphasizing my training for some reason. I train with Yuichi all the time. Why does he keep emphasizing that part? He must have sensed I didn't understand where he was going with this. What? Need me to spell it out for you? I'm saying I want to go on a date. A date? An idea I'd proposed the other day, only to be shot down. Why is he... Oh, because it's something a couple would do? Even so, training isn't much of a date. I thought that to myself for a split second before realizing that was what... This was Yuichi I was talking about. Knowing him going somewhere was too much of a hassle, but we already trained together almost every day. So what'll it be? The moment I'd composed myself, he whispered into my ear and made me lose my cool all over again. Girl, you haven't had your cool since the second he slid on up to you. He's just so close. I couldn't possibly answer him in a situation like this. The moment I prayed with all my heart that anyone would rescue me. I'm glad you get along and all, but easy does it. Yanagi appeared from the back entrance, giving us a warning. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. We'll be more careful. Thank goodness. At the rate things were going, I probably would have said yes to anything Yoichi asked. Awesome. I think you should ask us for a lot. I gotta get back to cleaning now that we've been told off. He left not too long after saying that. Yoichi was being so assertive earlier. This was much more like him, though. I've got to focus on cleaning, too. I slapped my cheeks to psych myself up, then resumed cleaning. Well done cleaning the back. Great work. Yanagi came from inside while thanking me. Huh. It was then I noticed a bound book on the desk. It hadn't been there earlier, which made me cock my head. Bound book. A book made by binding sheets of paper together. What's this? Oh, it's one of those romance novels that have been all the rage lately. Yanagi's reading romance, huh? Wow, you read stuff like this too? Yanagi denied it with a big smile on his face. No, I was paying one of my regulars a visit. He gave it to me and told me I should read it because it's very entertaining. Is it like romance, or is it like, romance? Is it a porn, basically? Then he showed me the bound book. It says the author's name is Iroha Harumi. I don't think I've heard of them before. Oh my god, is Yoichi a romance novel? That'd be fucking hilarious. I'm just saying, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, here's a romance novel. Like, all of a sudden we're introducing a romance novel and we say Iroha Harumi. So now I'm wondering if Yoichi was one of his books. That would explain fucking everything. I mean, it wouldn't explain his... it would explain his insatiable appetite. It's just usually in romance novels, it's a sexual appetite, and for him it's food. But it would explain why everybody is fucking in love with him because... Hi, what happens in romance novels? Or, hi, in Otome games, right? Main character, everybody's in love with her. Yeah, okay. So Yoichi being a romance, but everybody that sees him is in love with him. Yeah, no, that fits. That could work. All right. Yeah, no, that's perfect too. Look, there's a lot of things Yoichi could be that would explain his insatiable appetite and the fact that everybody's fucking in love with him. Okay, but you know what? The romance novel one is a good fit. That's a good one. Okay. Oh my god, I would fucking die. Especially because right now his personality is so fucking, oh dear god, what a hassle. Oh god, you're annoying, and is so like bitchy that then if you found out he was formed from a romance novel, you'd be like, wait, but what? The fuck? That's even better! You know what I mean? Like, Tojo being a tobacco pouch is kind of funny. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it doesn't really tie into, like, who he is, except for, like, you know... Except for he's the only one that actually smokes. So, like, okay. And he was a fun-colored little tobacco pouch. So, you know, whatever. He turned into a labradoodle. Okay? But, like, Kuga being a sword, you're like, yeah, no, okay, I can kind of see that. But, like, Yoichi being... Oh, my God, please. For the love of God. At least I'm saying if we're popping out the name of the author, if this has anything... If this isn't just a random one-off, like, thing, then Iroha Harumi is somebody that owns something that turned into Yoichi. That's what I'm thinking now. Okay, interesting. Anyway. It had been long since I came to Ito. Either that or Yoichi's writing romance novels behind our backs and this is his pen name. I'm just saying, we don't know. I feel like that's a little more far-fetched than him being a romance novel turned human, which is hilarious as shit. Which was why seeing the name didn't ring any bells. The title is Ephemeral Love. Based on the title alone, I assumed it was a sad love story. Do you happen to know who wrote it? Well... Yanagi scanned the room before speaking in a hushed tone. The author's actually a fairly prominent samurai. Really? You probably don't see that every day. I don't think I've heard about this before. It is. He's the only one as far as I know. That's what I thought. I heard he killed time writing novels because things were slow at his family's business, but then the books became extremely popular. That's fucking adorable. This is like Hichikata writing fucking poetry. But the only samurai who can have businesses are shogunate retainers, so please keep this between us. Yes, understood. I'll make sure not to let this slip, or it'll cause problems for both Yanagi and the author. At any rate, I'm very curious about this if there are rumors going around about it. Yanagi noticed I'd been staring at the book while thinking to myself, feel free to look through it since there aren't any customers around. Thank you. I accepted Yanagi's offer and took the book from him, then discreetly leafed through it. And then she's like, her heaving bosom, his throbbing manhood. What the hell? I'm just kidding. I'm glad there aren't any difficult kanji. Even I can read this. Regardless of their motives in the beginning, it takes a lot of effort to make a book bound book. Oh, it takes a lot of effort to make a bound book nowadays. Wow. The authors themselves transcribe each page by hand. That must take a lot of time. Okay, that's interesting, because it's like a bound book, and you're like, I mean, okay, I guess, you didn't get a lot of book binding. Because there was a point in time where, like, book binding was by hand, right? But then, like, to note that the author, not only do you write your book, then you don't even have a printing press. That's true, because I'm not really sure when the printing press was invented or what time period this game takes place in. But, like, the printing press is actually, I want to say, fairly modern in this scheme of time, anyway. You know what I mean? But, like, I guess, so you, well, I mean, I guess if you're a samurai, you wouldn't be like, okay, I wrote the book and then I'm gonna have my, subordinates or like my employees, whatever, your servants, transcribe it for you. Because you want to have nice penmanship, right? And then could you imagine, like, those books have got to be worth a fucking fortune because it's not like, oh, only 100 were made. Do you imagine that man's hand cramps writing that book 100 times over? Also, they're probably a hell of a lot shorter than most modern novels, if you think about it, but still, damn. For sure, I hear you have to put in a reservation at a book lending shop way. Wait, at the book lending shop way. Oh, wait, okay. For sure, I hear you have to put in a reservation at the book lending shop way in advance because of it. I'm amazed you managed to get your hands on one of these popular bound books, Yanagi. Oh, it's really no big deal. He's probably trying to use my personal connections to help make the books more popular. As a merchant myself, I understand. I'm sure he can't treat his daughter's illness on a samurai stipend alone, after all. His daughter? Yes, his daughter seems to be afflicted with some kind of strange illness. Even the doctors weren't able to determine what was causing it. Okay, so maybe this is how it dies. It's not because... But she's got some strange illness, so she could be the one causing the blight falls and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But what does Sato have to do with this? Because she's the only one with a sprite. You know? So she's sus, because she got a sprite. But, like, now she's got an illness, so something's up with her, and this introducing the book and everything, like, could be dealing with. Like, not to say that the daughter, is causing it, but she's tied into the Blightfall somehow. She's afflicted by it, I would assume, instead of, like, it's just a random illness. Because you know what I mean? Otherwise, there'd be really no point in mentioning any of this, so, A mysterious illness? The whole family must be worried. Do you know what kind of illness it is? Unfortunately, I don't, although I hear she's bedridden. She apparently regains consciousness every once in a while, but then her health immediately worsens and she falls back asleep. Sounds like what happened to Mitsu, right? Like, she'd be, like, kind of like asleep, not knowing what's going on, so, like, she's somehow tied to it. Again, if she, like, you know what I mean? Like, somebody put a spell on her or something. I heard the doctors completely gave up and just said they'd never seen an illness like that before. Her illness sounds exactly like what happened to Otone during the Kamakiri case. Okay. Maybe his daughter is feeling the ill effects of a form folk that's turned into a blightfall. If so, I need to investigate as a member of the Oniwaban. Yanagi, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about that? Well, that's true, because he knows that we're Oniwaban. It's definitely possible that his daughter's form folk turned into a blightfall. After returning to the Oniwaban base, I explained what Yanagi had told me to my teammates. Wow, I can read. I'd also gotten permission from Yanagi to talk to them about it. Another form folk turning into a blightfall. And we've got a talking blightfall appearing too. What a pain in the ass. Yuichi. Whatever. I take work seriously. As you already know, form folk who transform into blightfall are much more powerful than humans who do. There's still a lot we don't know about form folk blightfall, and the form folk's owner may be affected when they transform. If true, we need to defeat it quickly. If Yanagi's regular is someone from Samurai Town, does that mean the Samurai Town group will be in charge of the case? The Castletown crew will be taking care of this one with Yanagi's permission. We were the first to crack a form folk turned blightfall case. Jurisdiction-wise, they should be in charge, but we're better served to take the case since we've got a lot of experience taking on blightfall like these. Yuichi's right. It's probably better to leave this to whoever has more experience. Lord Miyagi, may I ask the name of the author and the woman who owns the form folk? Oh, I know! Unagi had told me their names when I asked him for more details. The samurai is Kazukage Hiraoka? Kazukage Hiraoka. And his daughter's name is Shizuki. Oh, Yoichi knows something. The color drained from Yoichi's face the second I said their names out loud. He was so pale I could tell how he felt, even without being able to see his threads. What's wrong? You're deathly pale. Are you feel... It's nothing. He knows them. But is that because you're one of his porn novels? It doesn't look like nothing to me. It's nothing. Really. Because, like, Kuga didn't know his backstory, but he knew the name of the man that crafted the sword. He just didn't know that... What, you know what I mean? So, like, he knows what he was. So Yoichi knows what he is as well and everything. So Yoichi would know if that's where he came from. Like that samurai guy, you know, who's a writer. You know what I mean? Like he would know that at least. He wouldn't know anything else, but he might know that. With that, he was back to his usual self. His complexion only changed for a brief second, but I've never seen him look like that. Calling Yoichi expressive was a bit of a stretch, but he was shrewd enough to tailor his reactions a certain amount based on others' language or facial expressions. The face he just made was something else altogether, though. Well, I mean, he wouldn't... No, because Kuga didn't know, like, that the person who owned him was a murderer, but he knew the name of the person who made the sword, like the craftsman who made the sword that he came from. So Yoichi might know this man if he knows that he came from something that guy wrote or something. He might know the name. You know what I mean? He somehow knows them, though. I mean, that's all we can get at this point. Maybe it was all in my head. Even so, the look I saw on his face for a split second really, really bothered me. Yeah, I mean, he knows something. You know, like... We're a little bit under time, I think, between this and then because I had to stop and like whatever. But since these scenes sometimes go on for like 10 minutes, I'm going to stop here. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.